Headlines for this week include the clock tower turns blue, a dining change for the university, and a cultural celebration comes to UWL. Stay tuned, WMCM's Week in Review is next.
Hello and thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. I'm Thomas Rehfeldt.
And I'm Katy Pence. Today is World Autism Awareness Day, and the ladies of Alpha Zeta Delta have made it their mission to light the campus up blue in recognition. The group is bedecking Heschler Clock Tower in blue lights and encouraging participants to wear their bluest outfits. Emily Nurnberg, the Alpha Zeta Delta Philanthropy Chair, says she hopes students and faculty will better understand how autism affects individuals and their families, as well as help the community be more mindful and aware of autism. The event will include free facts, food, prizes, and even a dance party. If you'd like to get involved, the event runs tonight from 7 to 9:30 at the Clock Tower.
Work continued on Tuesday on the BNSF rail line, which had recently made major headway on the track adjacent to Forest Hill Golf Course. Tuesday's work has seen the continuation of a 4-day projection to replace one of 2 rail bridges located just south of Stoddard. Work on the line began on March 30th for a complete overhaul of a bridge that has seen rail traffic for the past 100 years. The project was expected to complete it in the late afternoon at the time of this broadcast, with construction on the second line commencing on April 27th. La Crosse is but one node in the increasing volume of rail capacity of freight and North Dakotan crude alongside the Mississippi. BNSF has committed over $6 billion in capital, with the total projection for all rail line enhancements expected to exceed $29 billion.
Construction on the new West Chiller plant began early this week. With the new Student Center, Cowley Science Labs, in addition to the Eagle Recreational Center, the new chilled water plant is necessary to supplement the current air conditioning system. The 7,000 square foot plant will be located on the parking lot between the Health Science Center and Angel Hall. The plant will take up about 60 parking spaces that are expected to be made up with the additional construction to the parking ramp. The $8.4 million plant was approved by the State Building Commission in June, with an expected completion date in April of 2016.
The UWL Communication Club hosted Professionals Night this past Tuesday. We sent out Dustin Skolasky, Henry Lynch, and Greg Hill to find out more.
Tuesday night in Centennial Hall, the UW La Crosse Com Club hosted Professionals Night in the Hall of Nations. The event was similar to speed dating. The students in attendance had a chance to greet, mingle, and learn from many in various communication-related fields. Some of the professionals in attendance were Mary Evers, the director for Sodexo Campus Catering, Dustin Hansen from Mutual of Omaha, and Tammy Plourde, the director of sales and marketing for Pearl Street Brewery. At the conclusion of the hour-and-a-half-long event, we asked a few students to tell us about their experience.
I thought that would be a great opportunity for me to network with a lot of the professionals that have gone before me, possibly to get some advice and see maybe what I like, or more importantly, what I don't like.
It went really well, yeah. I found out a lot more information than I had before about like different jobs and kind of what you actually do in those jobs. That was really helpful, and just kind of general information and career searching. It was really helpful.
Also on hand to talk about the event were 2 elected Com Club officers.
And students really benefit from this event because they're able to speak to people in the careers they aspire to be in, and they get to ask questions of how they got there, recommendations they have for their future, and any possible internships or jobs they have for them. So it's a really good opportunity for them.
Our goal was to have people walk away, maybe have a better idea of what they want to do with their jobs, maybe have a possible internship in mind, and maybe getting connections in the La Crosse area for maybe staying here for the summer or maybe in a potential job when graduating.
All in all, Professionals Night was a success. For WMCM News, this has been Dustin Skolasky, Greg Hill, and Henry Lynch.
Now here's Tianna Vanderhei to tell us what's happening around campus.
Thanks, Thomas. UWL's CAB hosts 1-2-3 Craft Night every Thursday in the cellar located within Cartwright. Students are able to come out to eat dinner and relax while creating a craft for free. Some crafts that have been created in the past include pin boards, mason jars, and picture frames. Thursday night Craft Night is taking place this evening at 6 p.m. in the cellar. Again, admission is free. Murphy Library is currently featuring an exhibit inspired by the Freedom March of 1964. The Freedoms of Summer was a pivotal point in the civil rights movement. More than 900 Northern volunteers, 120 activists, and thousands of Mississippi residents stood up to the Ku Klux Klan and police officers to secure voting rights and challenge segregation. This traveling exhibit will close with a presentation by a historian from the Wisconsin Historical Society. The exhibit is available during the regular open hours of Murphy Library, with the presentation happening Tuesday, April 7th at 7 p.m. Admission is free. The Food for Thought Social Justice Brown Bag Lunch Series will take place tomorrow afternoon from 1 until 2:30 in the Hall of Nations within Centennial Hall. The facilitated topic of discussion for this week is Rape Culture Part 2. The discussion will be facilitated by Ingrid Peterson from Student Life. The Brown Bag Lunch Series is free and open to everyone. It is sponsored by Campus Climate, Institute for Latin American Studies, Social Justice Network, and the Wellness Resource Center. For questions or to request disability accommodations, contact Campus Climate at 608-785-5094. Now back to you, Thomas.
Thank you, Tia. Lacrosse will be host to the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe on Wednesday, April 8th at 7:30 in the Valhalla Center. The Native American group has been illuminating North America since the group's original performance in Winnebago, Nebraska in 2001. The group is known for their outstanding incorporation of traditional tribal, role, and specialty dances, from the men's fancy feather dance to the women's fancy shawl dance, even to the now infamous hoop dance. This group is renowned for their skillful use of both props and audio effects. With a blending of historical narrative, masterful storytelling, and musical performance, Many Moccasins will celebrate the realism of Native American culture that is seldom seen on the silver screen. Student tickets are $2 or $4 on day of the show. The Cooley Region Humane Society has many pets in need of loving homes. Here's some of the animals available in this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
WMCN TV sends out a group of students to film some of the most precious animals of the Cooley Region Humane Society in a segment we like to call Perfect Pets. The Cooley Region Humane Society offers a variety of programs and services at little or no cost to help both animals and people in our community. If you have found or lost a pet, are in need of training assistance, need cat behavior consultation, desire to volunteer, need to surrender your pet, or are looking to adopt a pet, the Cooley Region Humane Society offers this and so much more. So what are you waiting for? Adopt or become a volunteer today. To find out more about these services, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. The Department of Modern Languages will be celebrating our increasingly complex and global world with their second Festival of Languages. The festival will be from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, Thursday, April 9th, in Cameron Hall of Nations in Centennial Hall. The department offers 10 different language programs that teach students the knowledge, respect, and understanding of language, cultures, and human values. Coordinators hope the festival will be social, fun, and informative. Events include tango, waltz, and ballet lessons, Chinese calligraphy, music, and roundtable discussions. To see the complete schedule of events or to learn more about the Modern Languages Department, go to uwlax.edu/modern-languages. Mobility is often overlooked, right? But one organization on campus is trying to change that. We sent out Molly Prescott to tell us more.
Mobility. It's a luxury that many people take for granted every day. However, there's one group at UW La Crosse that is trying to bring a new sense of awareness to the topic.
I am involved with the Student Occupational Therapy Association, which is an organization to promote occupational therapy, which is a health profession that helps people to make sure that they're able to do the things that they need to do every day, despite of any illness or disability.
On Friday, March 27th, the Student Occupational Therapy Association, or SOTA, ran their Access for All event on campus.
We're raising awareness about accessibility on campus, and we are going to give everybody who is willing to a chance to go to class in a wheelchair and just experience what it's like to be in a wheelchair.
This is a new event that we're trying. It was started and kind of planned by one of our members and secretary, Amy Jo. She, a while ago, she was at a roundtable dinner, and she met with an individual who uses a wheelchair to get around campus, and this individual was just really expressing concern how it was difficult sometimes, in the winter months when there's snow and ice, for her to even get out of her dorm onto campus.
SOTA hopes that the event will cause people to critically think of mobility as a right for everyone and not just a privilege for some.
Every day you walk to class and you don't really think about what life would be like if you had to use a wheelchair or if you had some sort of disability. So I just want everybody to kind of think about, how would somebody in a wheelchair have to approach this situation?
From UWL, this has been Molly Prescott reporting for WMCM News.
UW La Crosse will be switching dining providers for next year, but the new company will be a familiar face on campus. Chartwell's will be replacing Sodexo on Saturday, June 13th, the day after Sodexo ends its contract with the university. The Chartwell's contract is up for final approval at the UW System Board of Regent meeting on April 9th through the 10th. Director of University Centers Larry Riggenberg says as part of the change, all union employees employed through Sodexo will be laid off, effective on June 12th. However, these employees will then be eligible for rehiring by Chartwell's. Sodexo began its contract at UWL in July of 2012 when it replaced Chartwell's. Riggenberg thanks Sodexo for its time on campus. UWL welcomes Chartwell back to home. Each week, the WMCM crew goes out and talks to your fellow peers in a segment we call Campus Insight. This week, they ask students about their craziest April Fool's Day memories.
Today for Campus Insight, we are asking UWL students what the craziest April Fool's Day prank is.
One time, somebody saran wrapped the toilet, so when you went to the bathroom, the pee didn't go in the toilet, I guess.
One time, my best friend in middle school, she put a bunch of bologna in her sister's bed, I guess, while she was sleeping, so that was kind of funny. I just watched, but...
Since I swim here, I told them I told my teammates I was going to transfer somewhere else. I made a huge status, a Facebook status about it, and it was really long, but it was to the point where you had to click load more, and then at the very end of it, it said April Fools.
One time for April Fools, my brother and I taped the sink so that when my mom came down, the sink water didn't come out of the sink, but it came out of the little spray thing.
Last year, my wife had 4 of her colleagues at different times throughout the day call me up and kind of give me a, what do you mean I dialed the wrong number? You're supposed to help me. And I just get kind of, well, look, and then I finally was talking to her and I said, I don't know what's going on today. I'm getting all these calls. And then she said that they had put that together. So there you go. They got me. I was totally bought into it. So now that won't happen again.
For WMCM, this has been Scout Mayor and Molly Prescott.
Look for the WMCM crew around campus for a chance to have your opinions heard on next week's Campus Insight.
Lucy is a 2014 English-language French science fiction action film written and directed by Luc Besson and produced by his wife Regine Silla. The film was shot in Tepai, Paris, and New York City. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman, Amir Wakid, and Chui Min-sik. Johansson portrays the title character of a woman who gains psychokinetic abilities from a neurotropic drug called CPH4 being absorbed into her bloodstream. Let's take a look at the trailer. I think the movie is a must-watch. The knowledge given by the writer and the effort put in by the director and producer is amazing. Also, Scarlett Johansson has her own taste. She played the role of a superwoman, which I think is pretty amazing and pretty impressive. It got a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb and a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. Next time, if you have an hour and a half, please watch Lucy.
Hey, can't find what you're looking for? What? You can find what you're looking for and more at WMCM. WMCM TV has plenty of shows you can view at your pleasure. There's Profile, where we interview people throughout the community. Or if you like sports, we have Sports Talk Live and Sports Scene. And if you're into celebrity gossip, that's why we have Afternoon Delight.
Well, that all looks great, but I'm on a computer, not a TV. I bet you guys don't have a way for me to watch this stuff on a computer.
Oh, we have that covered too. Just go to WMCMTV.com for all the updates.
Wow, that solves all my problems. Thanks, WMCM Genie.
I am the Invisible Man today, and I am here with this week's weather. If you can see me, that's amazing. We're going to take a look at everything right now because I have no idea what's going on. 35 degrees tonight and mostly cloudy is what you can expect if you're walking around on a thirsty Thursday or just a regular Thursday. But tomorrow we can expect temperatures to dip down a little bit because it's going to be 49 degrees, and that's not an average temperature for around here, so don't be ashamed to wear a nice light coat as you're walking around campus on your Friday. Now Saturday we can expect temperatures to get a little bit back to normal, 59 degrees, partly cloudy skies, west winds, a gentle breeze. Should be a nice Saturday if you're moving around. And Sunday it's going to be even warmer, 62 degrees, continuing with partly cloudy skies. Overall, a fantastic weekend from this fantastic weather forecaster. And now let's move it over to Haley Seitz, who's been fishing for a good story in this week's interview.
Thanks, Adam. This week I'm here with Nathan Hediga, who is the president and co-founder of the UWL's Fishing Club. So first, hi, thank you for being here.
Of course.
How did you get the idea to start the UWL fishing team?
Well, I was a freshman on campus here at UWL, and I was kind of looking for something to get involved with. So I'd heard a little bit in high school about the opportunities to fish in college, so I kind of looked into it a little bit more and decided that we didn't actually have a team on campus, but I just figured, why can't I start one? So me and my buddy from my hometown, we ended up starting one up. So.
Did that take a lot of work to start your own club, or what exactly went into that?
Yeah, it was a little bit of paperwork that we had to do. We talked to Jenny Larson in the sports club department, and she got us hooked up and got us going. So.
Okay, what are some of the things you do with the fishing team?
The biggest things that we do with the fishing team is we travel around the country and we fish a lot of the college circuits or college bass tournaments. We do also other things around the community, such as fundraising things and community help projects and stuff like that. But mostly we're a competitive team that travels around and fishes. So.
Where exactly do you go to compete?
We go all over the country. We've been all over the place. We fished just down the road on the Mississippi River here in La Crosse, or just a couple weeks ago we were in Kentucky, fishing a tournament down there, Missouri, all over the place. We have a team next week going to South Carolina to fish in the national championship down there. So.
And how exactly is it scored in a fishing competition?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. What we do, most tournaments are you go out, you catch the 5 biggest fish you can catch. They have to be a minimum length of normally 14 or 15 inches. And if you got that, the 5 heaviest fish win. It's pretty simple.
Simple, yeah, really simple.
Right.
How many members are in the fishing team?
Right now we have about 10 to 12 active members in our fishing club, and there's a lot of interest from people as well. So it's hopefully going to keep growing.
Is there a fee to join, or what goes into that?
There is no fee for us to join, although if you do want to fish competitively, like if you want to go around and fish the tournaments, you do have to pay a competitor membership fee through the organization, so it ends up being a little bit, but nothing just to be a part of our club.
Okay. And how would people get into the club? Like, how would they contact you guys?
Yeah, all right, so we do a lot of our work on through social media. We have a Facebook page that we do a lot of our contacting through about meeting times and different things that we're going to do as far as competitions and fundraising and everything. So if anybody wants to get in touch with me, you can email me. My contact information is on the UWL page, or if you can find us on Facebook, find us there too, that'd be great. Or just go to the rec and ask someone in there for more information on us. So there's a lot of ways to get in touch.
Okay, sounds good. I want to know more about Kentucky. So did you guys drive down there, or how exactly did that all work?
Yep, we drove down. It was about a 10-hour drive. We went down there for the entire spring break, which was really cool. And yeah, so we took our own boat and just headed down there for a week and caught a lot of fish. It was a great time.
How many of you guys went?
Just 2 of us went down to Kentucky
Okay.
this week, and then another one of our teams, like I said, this next week is heading down to South Carolina.
So there's teams within the team.
Yes. The team is just like the UWL fishing team, but then normally you fish 2 people per boat in a tournament. So.
In other tournaments, is there like boats supplied for you?
There used to be, but now it's getting so popular to the point where it's kind of a pain for the organizations to have to supply anymore. So we're on to 100% supplying our own boats. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the best memory you've had so far with fishing?
Oh man, there's a lot of them, but I'd have to say a couple years ago we went to Missouri. I was a scared little freshman. I had never been on a big lake like this in my entire life, and we ran about 30 minutes down the lake, full bore, and we got to our spot, and our motor wouldn't turn on to go back, so we had to get a tow from a nice local guy, but it was still fun. It was a good memory. We laugh about it now. It wasn't so funny at the time, but.
Okay, and so like you said, 13 to 14 inches, right? That's what it has.
Yep, normal. In the state of Wisconsin, it's 14 inches.
Okay.
Most of the times when you go south, it's 15-inch size limit.
Is it a certain type of fish?
Yeah, when we compete, we fish 100% normally for bass. Smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, spotted bass. Those 3 types. Obviously, you come across a lot of different species of fish when you're fishing different lakes and things, but those are the 3 that you're allowed to weigh in at the weigh-in. So
you can't catch a salmon? I guess
can't,
those aren't
no,
in
you can't catch
lakes.
a salmon or a walleye or a muskie or anything and weigh it in. But you can catch them, but you got to throw them back. So.
Okay, so is that freshwater? Right? 'Cause
All
we're-
freshwater, yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Well, what is something that you guys do at your meetings? Like, what exactly do you do at meetings when you're not fishing?
Okay. Yeah, at meetings, we will, for the most part, we will go through kind of the upcoming tournaments that we're going to have, how we're going to get there, travel things, if we want to pair up, hotels, things like that. Then we'll talk about possible fundraising activities. I know we have a fundraiser coming up this weekend, actually, this Saturday at Festival, selling brats to the local people, talk about those things and who's going to be in charge of that stuff. And just, it's kind of random stuff, to be honest with you, but whatever comes up, we'll discuss it. So.
Okay, how long or what time are you going to be at Festival in case people want to go get
We'll be at
brats?
Festival from, I think it's noon to 6 on Saturday.
Okay.
So it's a pretty big window, but yeah, come on down and grab a brat, support the UWL fishing
that'll
team.
be fun. So I know that you're the co-founder, but you're also the president as well. So what does that job title give you?
To be honest, not as much anymore as it used to. Everybody has a really big role in the team. I kind of just run the social media website and, design meeting times for everybody. But everybody has a brain in our operation. Everybody has great ideas, and we try to do everything. I just kind of facilitate and make sure that everything is going to plan and that everybody's happy and satisfied with.
Do you have a Twitter, or is it just mainly Facebook?
We just
that
do
you use?
Facebook. We thought about doing Twitter, but Facebook's most of our stuff
Yeah.
can be done via Facebook, so that's what we try to stick to.
Okay.
So that, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming. Everyone go out to Festival and get some brats. And next it will be John Dorton. We'll be right back with this week's sports. But first, let's take another look at those adorable animals in this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
Goofy is a 3-year-old blue tick coonhound. As you can see, he's easygoing, gentle, and an affectionate love bug. Splash is a 7-year-old orange tiger, named for the reason he likes to splash around in water. He's a silly character for sure. Splash's new family must be committed to giving him lots of exercise. Bella is an 8.5-year-old Labrador Retriever. She's beautiful, ecstatic, and an intelligent young lady. Bella is your typical happy Labrador, who is patiently waiting for her forever home. To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the phone number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. The UW lacrosse baseball team hosted the College of St. Scholastica at Copeland Park this past Sunday for a doubleheader. They split the home series, winning the first game 6-3. Joe Miller earned his third win of the season, pitching 8 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 hits, and struck out 3 batters. UWL's Taylor Colweg had his 37-game hit streak snapped as he went 0-for-3 with a walk. This streak tied the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference record set by UW Stout's Brad O'Connell in 2001. UWL lost the second game 3-2 in extra innings. This brought the team's overall record this season to 7-3, starting the season off strong. UW lacrosse hosted the National Collegiate Gymnastics Association National Championship in Mitchell Hall this past weekend. It was a very successful event for the women's gymnastics team. They won the 2015 National Championship as a team with a collective score of 191.525, the second highest score in NCGA championship history. The score also set a new team record as well as the Mitchell Hall record. It was the 16th national championship in school history, and following the event, UWL's gymnastics head coach, Barbara Gibson, was named the 2015 NCGA Coach of the Year. This is her 30th year leading the UWL's gymnastics team. We sent a WMCM crew to find out more.
This past weekend, UWL hosted a national championship for women's gymnastics. Coming in as the underdog, the UWL women's gymnastics team was ranked 4th and 2nd at conference. The team prepared for nationals like any other meet, but they tried to make practices as meet-like as possible, with the whole team watching people's routines and critiquing them, preparing them for all the distractions and the crowds at nationals. Prior to nationals, some of the members on the team had suffered major injuries, which in turn forced the rest of the team to step up. I got the chance to speak with Elsa Spitzmuller, who is a sophomore on the gymnastics team, who scored a 9.775 for floor exercise, which was the top score for floor of the night. Elsa thought nationals went as well as any of them could have imagined. She doesn't think they could have wished for a better outcome, and she is so proud and excited to be national champs. As Elsa stated, it is definitely a weekend her and her team will never forget. This is Meredith Ketzler, John Dorton, Trent Cummings with WMCM.
And that's all for this week's sports.
Well, how about them Badgers? Going all the way. They're playing Saturday night. How's your bracket doing?
It's doing as well as it could be.
Yeah? Who'd you have going all the way?
Michigan State, just like every year.
For shame, for shame. You're gonna watch the Badger game though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're watching at home, I do hear that the Rivoli is gonna have the game up on the big screen. So I'm gonna try and get a group. I know, right? That sounds like a lot of fun to me. So I'm gonna try and get a bunch of people.
It's a friendly crowd there. I like going there every Friday night.
Yeah. Oh, I love their. So they've got it in the big room, not in the screening room, which is really nice. So it's free to get in too.
Nice.
Yeah. So I love the Riv. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and head down there with a whole bunch of people and watch the game, cheer on the Badgers, so should be a good time.
You watching any other games this weekend?
Probably not. Watching the dogs this weekend, so I'm going to be busy with them. Should be a good time, though. It's always nice. Well, that's all we have for this week. Be sure to tune in next Thursday at 4:30 on Campus Channel 6 and Digital 989.